Is OnePlus Nord 4 the new king of mid-range smartphones? It has a price tag of Rs 29,999, and in this video we'll be talking about every detail from its sleek design and powerful performance to its camera and battery life. By the end of this video, you will know if the OnePlus Nord 4 is worth the price tag. But first, let's talk about the design. And well, the body of this phone is almost entirely made up of aluminium, but it's not completely metal. The upper part of the back panel is made up of glass. It's very rare to find phones with a metal body nowadays, and that's because the metal interrupts the 5G network. But with this phone, OnePlus has made sure that doesn't happen. The overall design is really nice. It's clean, it's minimalistic, just the way I like. It comes in 3 color options: Mercurial Silver, Obsidian Midnight, and Oasis Green. It has an excellent build quality, and even though it is a bit heavy, with a weight of around 200 grams, you can comfortably hold this phone in your hands. And that's because it has a balanced weight distribution. The sides of this phone are flat, but the corners are curved, and that makes it even more easier to hold this phone. And this is actually the thinnest Nord phone. Talking about the cameras, this phone has a 50 megapixel main camera, which is a Sony Litia LYT600 sensor, and this is actually smaller in size than the previous generation. It has an 8 megapixel ultra wide camera, same as the previous generation, but they have removed the macro camera that you used to get with the Nord 3. Let's do a quick comparison between the cameras on the OnePlus Nord 4 and the Google Pixel 8a. The photos taken with the OnePlus Nord 4 are much less consistent than those taken with the Google Pixel 8a. All my pixel shots looked similar enough to one another, but the images taken with the Nord 4 were sometimes bright and sometimes not so bright. The Pixel 8a also has a better ultra-wide camera and it is able to capture more detail. But the Nord 4 takes better close-up shots and is able to grab more details. The Pixel 8a has a stronger dynamic range than the Nord 4 and it's able to show the brightest parts of the image in full detail, but also making sure that the dark parts are not messed up. In low light conditions, the OnePlus Nord 4 took a darker photo, but it managed to keep the bright parts of the bottles from looking too bright. On the other hand, the Pixel 8a took a brighter photo, but it made the bright parts of the bottles look too bright. Overall, I think the OnePlus Nord 4 did a better job in this situation. In daylight conditions, this phone gives you clear, detailed photos with good color accuracy. It is actually much better than I expected, especially compared to last year's model. The images you got with the Nord 3 were over-sharpened and oversaturated. This phone supports up to 4K recording at 60 fps. But I wouldn't recommend shooting videos in 4K as it will give you a very large file size. If you have a lot of storage, you can, but I wouldn't do it. It has a 16 megapixel selfie camera, which is also the same as last year's model. This phone comes with a Snapdragon 7 Plus Gen 3 processor, which is a 4 nanometer chip and has built-in AI capabilities. It offers smooth performance for day-to-day tasks like scrolling through Instagram, watching YouTube, or browsing the web. The Geekbench benchmark score for this phone is higher than the Pixel 8a but lower than the OnePlus 12R. You can play graphics intense games like Genshin Impact, BGMI, and Call of Duty with no lag or stutter even on high settings. You can also easily edit 4K videos on this phone using apps like VN, InShot, or KineMaster. Also, this phone comes in 3 variants. First is the 8GB RAM and 128GB storage variant, and then you have the 8GB RAM plus 256GB storage variant, and finally there's the 12GB RAM and 256GB storage variant. This phone comes with a 6.74-inch AMOLED display with a 120Hz refresh rate. The peak brightness is 2150 nits, which is good enough if you are using this phone in sunlight. It has Aqua Touch, which means that you can use the display even if your hands are wet. This phone has HDR10 support, which works on YouTube, but it doesn't work on Netflix. The text on this display looks sharp and the visuals are clear. The bezels are also really thin on all the sides. The colors are accurate and rich, which makes photos and videos look great. The Nord 4 offers a large 5500 mAh battery and supports 100-watt Super VOOC charging. It goes from 0 to 100% charging in just 28 minutes, which is very impressive, and it can easily last for a day even under heavy use. This phone runs on Oxygen OS 14.1, which is based on Android 14. It has a lot of new AI related features like the AI Speak and AI Summarize, which summarizes information from websites and apps. AI Write, which composes long messages from short prompts. Recording Summary, which creates brief summaries with transcripts for long recordings. AI Eraser, which removes unwanted elements from photos, and many more. Though I would say that there's a lot of pre-installed apps and bloatware on this phone, and there is no option to unselect these pre-installed apps during the initial setup either, so you're gonna have to manually uninstall them if you don't want them occupying storage. OnePlus is also gonna give you 4 years of major software updates and 6 years of security patches. So, is the OnePlus Nord 4 the king of mid-range smartphones? Well, it's a strong contender with a beautiful metal design, a powerful processor, a bright display, and incredibly fast charging. The cameras are good, but not the best, and there's some bloatware you will need to remove. But overall, if you're looking for a feature packed phone at a competitive price, the OnePlus Nord 4 is definitely worth considering. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.